I love it when teams do what I did and when everyone thought, I can't believe you're doing that. Who would ever do that? And it was 20 years ago, which makes me potentially just a little ahead of my time. That's how you get into the Hall of Fame. If you know, you know. Carlos Delgado was a free agent we signed. God, what a good man. I don't understand why he's not in Cooperstown. One of the most prepared hitters I ever had in my career. Studied pitchers in a way that was just unbelievable. His first base play, just his personality, such a lovely man and so good at what he does. When he was a free agent, we had an opportunity to sign him, and we made him this crazy offer that was totally backloaded because we wanted to fit him into a team where we thought we had a chance to win a World Series, our second in 3 years. We loaded up the team, and it just didn't work out for us. And so we had to trade Delgado. And we traded him to the Mets. For those of you who don't remember, Carlos Delgado was a Met, and he came from the Marlins. The contract that we signed Carlos Delgado to paid him very, very little year one, and then there were like balloon payments in the final years of his deal. We saw an announcement yesterday that the San Diego Padres, who are wannabe Marlins, they're close, man. AJ Preller, you're almost there. All you got to do is win a World Series and then chase it the rest of your career, and then you'll be closer. But for now, you're nothing, actually. But Nick Pavetta, who is a serviceable, he ain't no Delgado. He is a serviceable pitcher. That's all he is. He's a number 6 starter on a decent team, a number 8 starter on a good team, a number 4 starter on a desperate team, a number 2 starter on a 100-loss team. That's about what Nick Pavetta is. He's fine. He signed what I consider to be a really large contract for this time of year. And then I got the info. Nick Pavetta has opt-outs after his year 2 and year 3, but listen to the salaries. That's why the cockles of my heart feel so warm in a city where it's so cold that my poor feet are frozen and my hands are cracking. They're so dry. He gets $3 million to sign the deal and then a $1 million salary this season. Yes, sir. That is $4 million total. That's not the Pete Alonso 30. That is the Nick Pavetta 4. But don't worry, he then gets $19 million next season. Just think about that for a minute. That means he's $23 million over 2 years, but the payment is $4 and $19. Why would the San Diego Padres do that? What are your thoughts? Is it because Dylan Cease is coming off the books? Maybe they'll non-tender Michael King? Is that what it is? Maybe they feel like Araya is their second baseman. He's going into free agency. Let him go. So we'll have Nick Pavetta replace that money? No. Let me be clear what's happening here. The San Diego Padres are in a financial bind. They overspent trying to be the Padres under the late, great owner, Peter Seidler. The family has taken over and realized, wait a minute, we don't want to fund this with our money. We need to get our payroll under control, yet their payroll is not nearly under control because all of those crazy long-term deals from Machado to Bogarts to Darvish to Cronenworth, on and on. They've got money tied up for years. They can't add more. The thought of them just keeping and retaining Soto, give me a break. It's just not going to happen. And when you sign a player to a contract like that, you are basically kicking the can to only one season from now. And take it from me, Mr. Seidler, next season's coming really, really soon. I understand how good it feels to only pay $4 million for a pitcher like Pavetta because that is an underpay for sure. But here's the crazy thing that's going to happen. You're going to trade Pavetta the way we traded Delgado, and teams are going to know exactly what you did. They knew exactly what we did with Delgado, and the Mets made us pay part of Delgado's salary because they said it's no fair that you got a year of Delgado at so little, and you're asking us to overpay for the Delgado years that we get. And there's not one thing we could say. We didn't make the playoffs. We didn't have a good year. It was a nightmare, but no other way to do it. The Padres, when they try to move Nick Pavetta, teams will say, dude, you don't think we understand what you did? I know that you view everyone as idiots except you, but we're on it. There's no way we're taking Pavetta at those numbers in his last 3 years. And Preller's going to say, yikes. I got 8 players on the books for about $145 million next year. I got a mandate from ownership to get my payroll around 145, and I don't know how to do that. Well, you start with a contract like this because what the owner said to the GM is, I know we're in trouble, but one more year. If we can surprise the Dodgers, pass the Diamondbacks, and have a big postseason run, we'll have way extra revenue. We haven't budgeted it, wink, wink, but if we get that postseason revenue, maybe that can help save us. Folks, I've played this game before. It doesn't end well.